Hi guys, hope you're well. I've been asked over and over again in my DMs to finally address toxic females. So I'm just going to dive right in and I'm going to explain to the men of the world why women are not automatically accused of being in the wrong. And this is my opinion, so I'm interested to hear yours. Basically, women, whether we want to talk generally speaking or from an Islamic perspective, we are not fitran cheaters. We are not fitran deceivers. Basically what that means is it's not in our nature to be unfaithful or to lie or to scheme, etc., etc. But there are women that do these things in this world. Like, I'm not denying that they exist. And I truly believe that when women are put in safe, calm environments, they flourish. Women are multipliers. We take goodness and multiply it. But when we're in a bad environment, you best believe that a very scheming, strategic individual is born from that, because it's a survival mechanism. Like, I've been used. I can see my mother has been used. I can see how men operate in this world. So I have to step up my game. I have to make sure I'm 10 steps ahead, because I'm not here to get, eaten up by everyone. And our faith in men, generally speaking, is really affected by our fathers. So if you have a father that is dismissive, unkind, maybe nasty to your mother or whatever it may be, you naturally can go one of two ways. You become extremely soft and sensitive, or you go on the other end and you just become very vicious and very scheming, because you have to figure out a way that you're going to survive. There is no other option. What are you going to do? Just get munched up by the male or the patriarchal environment around you. And I know people get so triggered when I use the word patriarchal, but unfortunately we are living in that kind of dynamic that we can't run away from that. So what I'm trying to say is, women and men, to a certain extent, that toxicity that they carry is all from experiences and the way their mind was built around that trauma that they experienced. And there's no justification for being toxic. There's no line that you cross and say, well, because I was victimized like this, I get to be really toxic, or I get to be nasty or lie or whatever it may be. And if you are the type of woman that is gone into a very toxic space within whatever arena that may be, because, there's a whole range of things that you can do, you need to strongly have a word with yourself about what your motivations are to think the way that you do. Like, there's a bigger problem there. If you feel like you need to lie, cheat, scheme, do someone out of seeing their kids, stir problems within other family members, start gossip, flirt with your friends' husbands, or you know what another form of toxic I think is? Women that accept cheating men. I think you guys, even though you're a victim of your situation, you actually enable this person to go on in the same habits that they are. Even if you left them and they carried on, at least you're not playing a part in enabling and okaying that. And that is one bit of how our culture is patriarchal, because there's such a lightheartedness on male toxicity and behavior. That's why there's so many YouTubes out and so many social media people talking about it, because it's like, no, finally you guys are going to get called up. It's not going to be men will be men. But with the toxic women, in my opinion, it's a result of being treated badly for generations. Look at the sprinkle lady. She rings so true to so many women that have been through toxic relationships with men, because they're like, you know what, if they use us for physical intimacy, we'll use them for financial gain. And that stuff can really start going into really bad cycles, because you take what your haq is as a woman and you weaponize it. And that's not what our haq is for. We're not supposed to be weaponizing our haq. If we don't get it in certain places, that's our cue to understand we've got to go. I have to be removed from here or have a word with someone about changing it. But when women choose the route to go down toxic behavior, a lot of the time it stems from pain. And that pain hasn't been addressed, or you're still in those environments and you have adjusted your personality around survival. And unfortunately, as women, we are slightly more vulnerable on this planet, whether we like it or not. And in our biology, we want to mate. And when we have that mate, we can become very toxic if we don't manage our mental and emotional health, our thought processes. We need to go out of our way to analyze the way that we are. So just because I talk about a lot of female issues does not mean I condone toxic behavior from women. I really don't. And sometimes women, you can be really toxic because you're in pain and you haven't addressed that pain. But at the same time, what I talk about is don't allow yourself to be in a painful situation for so long, prolonged moments of time, periods of time, and you come out angry, bitter, schemy. And on the other hand, if you go the other way, you're depressed and you've let yourself go. So, it's all about balance in life. But no, I don't condone toxic femininity. I think there are very many toxic women out there. I think a female's toxicity comes in at a slightly different angle than what men's does. Men's is very bold and in your face. But with women, we are more coercive with the way we implement our toxicity. So it's really important that if we are doing something but justifying it with the pain that we suffered. So for example, keeping a man from seeing his children, but he's good to his children. He's nice to his children. You stopping that because of how he treated you is you being toxic. That's just a fact. And I know things hurt and I know life is really hard. And trust me, there's so many women even on this page, and I'm sure you guys will comment, that you go through such hard times that your brain switches off all balance, logic and empathy, and you can go really, really hard in your toxicity because your pain has overridden your emotions. So no, I don't condone toxic female behavior, but I understand more where it comes from because I'm a female, and there's plenty of men out there that have got a lot to say about us. And I'm not out here to bash women, but I'm also not here to condone bad behavior either. So everyone needs to check themselves on a regular basis throughout life. That's the test. So hopefully that answers your question.